Previously on Fortnite Follies, the V2 saga. Deploying for duty. This is a first for me. This type of match is called the Getaway. I wonder how well I can do. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? I'm landing at Whiffy Wharf. This appears to be some sort of fishing community. I wonder if this could support my weight. Nope. If I were a human woman, I may have been offended, but I'm an Arctic series destroyed droid. Cotter steel is most likely heavier than human flesh. Not to mention all the motors, servos, processors, gears, nuts, bolts, screws, and various parts that make up my chassis. Anyway, enough about my mechanical anatomy, time to get to work. Ooh. Miss Chest has the newest assault rifle to arrive on the island, the collateral damage assault rifle. Also called the CD rifle by Jester. These replaced the Fury assault rifle of the previous season, the Demon War. We didn't take an active part in that like we did during the Latvian War, but we did do some related and unrelated missions during that time. We currently don't have any plans to take active part in the crime war either, as Task Force Vixen seems to have it covered. However, we could change our mind at any moment, so all soldiers, organic or battle droid alike, are ordered to stay ready at all times. And that's exactly what I'll do, harvesting metal. This is the strongest building material, regardless of what others say. It's rare, sure, but it's worth getting. It's mostly fireproof, definitely doesn't burn to ashes once a fiery weapon touches it. Nowadays, it's strong enough to resist a shot from a heavy sniper rifle to General Jester's chagrin. But that just seems to be the norm in this reality. Loopers complain when they think something is too powerful in some way, and the weapon or item is subsequently nerfed. Take the Shield Bubble Jr. for instance. It's a smaller shield bubble. What's the point? Shield Bubble is just as impenetrable by bullets when small, and enemies can still enter it and eliminate the user. What's improved about the situation? Anyway, time to open this chest. How amusing. I got a big pot after the chug jug. Ha ha. We're so funny. Ugh. Oh well, the chug jug's got more in it anyway. I mean 160 beats 50 any day, am I right? The only reason the big pot would be better is if there were 40 or less in the chug jug. Here's a save for me to open. That's one of my missions if you couldn't see it on the top left corner of the screen. To be fair, some people may struggle to see this. General Jester sometimes can't see it himself. I'm not sure why, but I won't question it too much. Sometimes it amazes me how much better droid sensors are than human eyes, searching another chest. Even with our sensors being really advanced and adaptable to many situations, we admittedly still miss things from time to time. Especially if we're turning really fast. There's supposedly another chest over here. Yep, it's right there. Moving in to search it. Ew, what was that? Off the pump and dump. I've heard about this weapon. It's said that if you can master this tricky weapon, you'd be a force to be reckoned with. I'm willing to take advantage of such an opportunity, and I'd like to see how well I can use it. If I can adapt and be even more useful to General Jester, then I'll have succeeded in my purpose, and can be satisfied by his praise, harvesting more metal. According to Jester, we keep getting blindsided too much in modes that allow building. We need to utilize General Twigstumper's lessons in battle. But here's the thing though, it takes a lot to break out of years of conditioning. Can you just be a major architect for years then master mode where you can't even get materials to build overnight? I'd say no. And why? Because you're used to building, and you'll need to learn and adapt again. General Jester said that he has experienced this before, and it took a while to master. But nowadays, most solo matches are zero build. Hold that thought. I'm about to engage an enemy. Building a cottage to protect myself. Where did they go? Did they run away? Or can they not reach me from the front? Is that a fish with a baseball bat, firing the pump and dump? Enemy neutralized. Anyway, here's the problem though. In builds, he's regressed to his Chapter 1 strategy, which often gets him eliminated. And the rest of us have followed. It's hard to get into the Battle Royale mindset anymore because zero build has been hardwired into our mind. But where one door closes, another door opens. And I dare say the door to zero build has been thrust wide open, with us sometimes getting elimination totals of up to 14. The only thing wrong with that is that most of our friends prefer building over zero build. Which is okay, but it makes us like a fish out of water currently. However, if our new initiative works, that could become a thing of the past. We will need to stick with it, though. Repetition and practice make perfect. That little cottage was a small step forward. Yes, that's more building than I've done in a while, but it's nothing technically groundbreaking for us. The steel cottage technique is a standard Jester fallback. It's effective, but it has its flaws. In battle against an opponent with a fast-firing automatic weapon, you will eventually be eliminated by the shots that penetrate the cottage. We have been practicing such techniques as the steel tower and reinforced round, to varying degrees of success. We've also tried the risky waterfall technique, which is building while falling. If performed properly, it will negate fall damage. If executed incorrectly, the consequences are painful and can be dire. Jester calls such devastating results pancaking. I honestly don't get that, as you don't actually flatten out when you get eliminated, least of all by falling. But whatever Jester wants to call it, I won't question it too much. It's not my place nor my job. Now harvesting more supplies. I try to go mostly for metal objects and structures, but sometimes it's hard to tell what's metal, or what's wood or stone, instead. Sure, you have the obvious cases like cargo crates for metal, trees for wood, and rock formations for stone, but then you get some objects that look the same, but are actually made of different materials from its look-alike. And if you're currently yelling at your screen for me to go after an opponent with a duel, you're wasting your time. Not only is this pre-recorded footage, but I'm also not in this to win. I've got missions to do that are much more important than winning. If you want competitive gameplay, watch Greatest Battles, Weekend Warrior, or Turbo Thursday. Those 3 series are the serious competitive ones where we either try to win, or win through the competitive efforts of our friends. I've heard that one of us were planning an episode of Turbo Thursday, so stay tuned to see who it is. Time to head towards the eye of the storm. I know I have over 2 minutes, and complacency has costed us many matches. It's better to be safe than sorry. Interestingly enough, there are 4 duels right up in front of me. I wonder what that's all about. Don't get me wrong, I do have a mission to gain shields or restore health while holding a duel, but I also want to do the missions to search chests, safes or supply drops, eliminate opponents with epic or better weapons, knock down a supply drop before it lands, damage opponents with legendary or better weapons, and deal damage from above. So many missions, so little time left. But I'm just as determined as ever. I'll get as many done as I can, regardless of cost. If I'm repeatedly scrapped in the process, so be it. I'll just deploy again, do what I can, then get scrapped. Rinse, lather, and repeat until we have an episode. I saw a gas station to my right on my way here. Heading towards the gas station. Should I search for more supplies while I'm here? The longer I take, the sooner an opponent could win all of a sudden, and I complete none of my missions. Is there an unopened safe in this direction? That's what it looks like. Imagine being able to progress 2 missions at once. Jester would be so proud of me. Loopers are so greedy, just carrying a jewel is enough to get you targeted. I can use that to my advantage, and gain shields at my leisure. I believe that's exactly what I'll do, en route to the safe. I see what could be an opponent's ramp. I do have an epic suppressed pistol, so I could technically get an elimination, and thus progress on that mission. Shall I try that? I may not have a choice, as an opponent has engaged me in a firefight. Oh wait, never mind. I just came across a firefight ahead of me, engaging combat mode anyway. No, it's too soon. You're not allowed to get away with that. V3A5 needed powering on. What was that audio glitch from my speaker? Oh, someone is still sleeping. Very well. Engaging aerial combat mode. Enemy looper dispatched. Moving on with the rest of the match. So, the objectives of this match, the getaway are to search for a jewel, get to a getaway van with said jewel, and make your escape. My objectives, however, are different. I need to damage opponents from above, search safes and supply drops, gain shields or restore health while carrying a jewel, eliminate players with epic or better weapons, damage loopers carrying a jewel, travel distance using a grappler, search chests, damage opponents with legendary or better weapons, and shoot down a supply drop before it lands. One of the new assault rifles of this island, the Holo Twister assault rifle. That should be helpful in completing my objectives. I'm sure the mammoth pistol is strong enough to have some fans, but I am, unfortunately, not one of them. A bit slow for me. There's another chest over there moving to investigate its contents. Gold ammo boon. You can receive ammo when you pick up gold bars. Huh, interesting. That, too, sounds helpful. Very helpful. Advancing to the next destination, which is, as of yet, unclear. Still yet unclear or not, I finished that mission. General Jester will be so proud during debrief. Entering building containing the chest. My sincerest apologies, but I already have a green pump and dump. But what about that boon? Another gold ammo boon. Sorry, but I'm not allowed to have more than one of each unique type of boon. You're too late to offer me one. Moving on with the rest of the match. Enemy looper detected on sonar, activating aerial combat mode. Let's make this easy on both of us, okay? I guess not hard way it is. I need to repair my systems before getting back into the fight. Oh no, repairs were ineffective. I'm sorry I underestimated your experience. No. After the rousing success of the strategy last time, I wonder if I can catch another unfortunate napping looper. Shall we see? The storm is not on my side this time, and there doesn't appear to be any napping loopers around. I have a mission to do, and I won't complete it if I get eliminated by the storm again. I can't wait. I have to go. Diving down. There appears to be some sort of colorful garden down below. That's interesting. Those pink trees are called cherry trees. They were also present during the Syndicate crisis, which is when I learned their name. Oh, good times. Back then, my voice was no different than my destroyer predecessors. I'm technically a destroyer myself, but I and my predecessors and successors are Arctic series destroyers. We were built as Winterfest presents for General Jester, so we couldn't be as serious as our predecessors. We were programmed to be more approachable and friendly, in case you forgot. With that once again established, I believe it's time to search for weapons and supplies so that I have a chance of completing a mission and won't just get scrapped right away. Of course, given my luck in this match, there's no guarantee that it won't still happen. These loopers seem to be playing at a much higher level than in most other matches, drinking the big pot. The interesting thing about the new big pots is that they now gradually raise your shields by 50%. However, there's a catch. Hold the thought. I see a golden opportunity. Ooh, there's an enemy looper there. The window's wide open. I have to take it now or never. There we go, enemy looper neutralized. Anyway, originally you could interrupt the drinking and keep the big pot. Once your shield starts raising, you have to commit, or you'll lose the big pot, and whatever shield you would have otherwise gained. I see why it's a mission to restore your health or gain shields while holding a jewel now, as holding it gradually increases both. I currently don't know the upper limits of this, but for my mission's sake, I'm willing to find out. I know, the whole point is to grab the jewel and get away, but going too fast will ensure that I get little progress on my mission. If you want tips on how to win, you have to watch someone else, or wait until greatest battles, if we ever put one out of this match. It's kind of doubtful, honestly, because as I said before, winning could be extremely difficult, even if you were trying your best. So many things can go wrong at any stage, so it's better to keep your eyes open, fingers crossed, and head level in order to squeak out a win. And whatever you do, you have to make your tower sturdy. You can't just make erratic rounds, or you will be broken down. I've seen it time and time again. I can offer you verbal advice, but I'm not allowed to just end it fast with a practical demonstration. I have work to do, and I will do it or get scrapped trying. Such is the programming of an Arctic series destroyer, and the whole creed of the 7 droid army. Maybe I can find a looper whilst in pursuit of a supply drop. That is also one of my own missions, so it would be eliminating 2 crows with 1 kinetic boomerang. I could also, perhaps, provoke a response by pretending to build up to the Getaway Van. That would finish off a majority of the work for me, and I could hop in at my leisure once I felt like there was nothing else I could do this match. As the humans say, it's the perfect crime, still. It would be more productive to go after supply drops, if it's at all plausible. In the meantime, though, I will go ahead and harvest some stone. Just hit the weak spots to get more stone. This is a good strategy, though maybe some of you can do it faster. I truly don't care. I'm biding my time anyway. Whoa, I'm under attack. My strategy will be a little different this time around. This time, I'll use the knowledge we gained from Task Force Bixen and drop straight towards a safe. That should be an effective strategy, right? Remember, I'm not solely trying to win. I'm also trying to complete quests. If you want competitive gameplay, you're watching the wrong series. The series you want is Greatest Battles, which posts highlights of victory royales, high elimination games, amusing glitches, or any combination of the 3. Now it's time to crack open the safe. Just fiddle around with the knob. Someone is here. No, I moved too soon. I have to start over. Bomb. Focus this time. Ignore the self-preservation alerts. Stick with it until the end, then run. Alright, I got it. Now run. Run. There's a chest. Does this chest have a medkit? It does. Thank goodness. That could have been a disaster. They're right there, and all I have is a striker burst. Well, that's okay. They could literally have anything, not to mention the fact that I'm in the storm. System integrity is at 51% and dropping. Okay, my strategy worked to a degree last time, so if it's not broken, don't fix it. Right, heading back to Demon's Dojo. If this stupid Brella would deploy. Sometimes it bugs out and won't deploy until it's forced to by your altitude. Just like that. Arg, why are you like this? You could have wasted valuable time and ensured that I didn't get that safe. Thanks a lot. Ugh. I'll still try to make the trek to Demon's Dojo, but I may not be able to get it in time. All because of this faulty Brella. It's starting to show its age. It was a fantastic present, but it's starting to become a nuisance. Anyway, grabbing this chest. I didn't see anything particularly interesting in there. Moving on to Demon's Dojo. Hopefully, the safe is still there, untouched, because I landed so far short that if someone else was also gunning for it, I had no chance at all. I just got a hollow twister assault rifle. And that's a bit of a consolation prize, I suppose. It has a decent firing rate, and each shot deals the most damage out of every assault rifle currently known to the 7 Droid army to be on the island. We have though heard some unconfirmed rumors that another assault rifle, a Lawless Trinity assault rifle, is even more lethal. And the scariest thing we've heard about it shoots 3 bullets simultaneously. Sounds like something that the B8 super battle droids would use. Anyway, I'm almost to the Demon's Dojo. If the safe has indeed already been opened, I may swap out this Brella for one of my old gliders. Maybe see if the Winter Wing still works after all this time. Supposedly, it's even older, but the Peerless Parasol is starting to act up, so at this point, I'm willing to accept anything. There's the building I found it in last time. Let's see if it's still there. Miraculously, it still is, had it still shut tight. But not for too much longer, because now I'm here with a mission to open it. Just a little bit longer. And there we go, another open safe for my mission. Perhaps the rest are too preoccupied with the safes and supply drops that float down out of the sky to even bother with the ones closer to the ground from the start. Either way, you won't hear me complaining about an easy safe mission. Now it's time to go back to the Eye. I technically still have a mission to do while carrying a jewel, so I may eliminate someone else that's carrying one if I can. Here's the catch, though the loopers of this match type are some of the most competitive and competent loopers of all time. And this match type was meant to be played with a partner or team, so I'm usually not up against just one looper, but a pair. Not that it usually matters any. Whether it's 1 or 2, I'm still almost certain to get scrapped. Sure, I have eliminated lone loopers, especially one that had just snagged a jewel, taking the jewel for myself, but other matches have me floundering about until I'm finally eliminated, if even that. On at least one occasion, I built as thoroughly as I could, but still got scrapped quickly. That appears to be some sort of hot spring, another thing I was introduced to during the Syndicate crisis. They can restore health and repair battle droids, somehow. I glossed over it a little, but there's also a geyser nearby. Used in conjunction with your glider, they are typically a fast means of transportation. But like all other forms of transportation, they have no limits. For instance, if there are mountains or tall trees in the vicinity, you could be halted or land in an awkward spot, depending on how tall the tree was. Speaking of transportation, the rocket drill is a bit of a revolutionary transportation tool. Unlike its predecessor, the rocket ram, The rocket drill can keep going after hitting an obstacle, and almost flawlessly cancels out fall damage. The SMC jet troopers and dark troopers have been training with these. Such training operations are unfortunately classified, so I can't say much more than that. Anyway, onwards with the rest of the match. I'm now flying with the rocket drill. One disadvantage with the rocket drills is that they can only be used in short bursts, so if you have a long-distance target in mind, perhaps it would be better to use the train or some other means of transportation that would provide longer distances for longer durations. Still, the rocket drill is very useful for clearing some ground quickly. Just remember, for each pro, there has to be a con attached. That is the North Fortnite. For every powerful weapon, it has to be balanced out with a sluggish firing rate. And for every fast weapon, it has to be balanced with weaker single shots. And you can forget headshot damage hitting 250. Those days are over. Very few weapons even get close. Notably the bolt-action sniper rifles, one of the slowest firing weapons in the entire game. We've been adapting to the many changes for years, myself and my predecessors and successors for at least 2 years. However, this coming up May, General Jester will have been forced to adapt to these changes for about 7 whole years. Yeah. That's quite a long time to learn and relearn each weapon that's come and gone. Now I'm going to investigate this building for supplies. According to some sources, this is a site of one of the black markets scattered throughout the island. Black markets tend to be the homes of exotic weapons, including the aforementioned Wallace Trinity assault rifle. That could be interesting to try out. But for now, I see something that's a bit higher up on my list of priorities. Those jewels are pretty close to the Getaway Van, and I need to act, now. I can see a ramp reaching up to my left, but nobody's currently on it. At least, as far as I can see. There's also a blue beam of light reaching into the sky to my right, and given its flickering, I dare say it's a jewel. Someone is towering up over there, and there's a shrine emitting a white beam of light over to the left. Make no mistake, that is in fact a jewel. The question now is, how tightly is that jewel guarded? Regardless if they're ignoring it, they've got a jewel in their possession, and are thus much too close to the Getaway Van to justify me leaving them alone. I have taken heavy damage from the initial attack. Where did she go? There she is.